Hey y'all, how's it going? Just a quick motivational message for today. As you know, this week we had some big news in our family. My son is going to play football in Kansas at Fort Scott, and we're very excited for him because just a year ago around this time, it wasn't looking like he was going to be playing football at all. Not because of injury or anything like that, but because he lost his drive and his ambition. Somebody said something to him and about him that made him feel like he wasn't good enough. And that's where us parents and friends and coworkers and things like that, where we all come in when you see someone who has potential and they're kind of down and out on themselves, and you can come by and send them a word of encouragement or just a reminder of who they are to get them back on track. And as his mom, that's what I did. I mean, of course, if he really didn't want to play football anymore, I would have left it at that. But I knew it was because of what someone had said to him and how he was thinking of himself. So the moment that I began to build him up and remind him of who he was, to remind him, you are an amazing young man. You are great at football. You have an excellent football IQ. Football is something that you love. Football brings out the best in you. And I just kind of reminded him of those things. And once he got that back in his spirit again, we started practicing on his off days. It wasn't even football season. It was the off season, and we practiced. And I went online and I learned drills that cornerbacks do. And I don't know that much about football plays or anything, but I made an effort to learn because I believed in him, and I wanted him again to believe in himself the way that he did prior to somebody cutting in and saying something to him that that broke him down. And a lot of times, if it's not in football, some of us are in that very same situation where someone has said something and it's broken your spirit to the point where you're like, you know what, that's not even for me. Used to want to be a public speaker or motivational speaker, and somebody told you, when you talk, your nostrils flare. And I say that because mine do, but that stopped you from going forward, and you never even tried to go back to trying it again. And so I hope that, been hearing that Sultan is now going to play football at a college on a scholarship, I hope that motivates you. Here's someone who went from, I don't want to play football anymore to, I'm going to college and they're paying for it and I get to play football. Like, that's awesome. And that is just the power of believing in yourself and believing in somebody else. And more importantly, trusting God when things get tough. And what I found in my own life is when I give my broken pieces, my heartache and disappointments to God, that he always gives them back to me in like the opposite form. I give him insecurities and he gives me confidence. I give him broken pieces. He gives me a whole masterpiece, plan of who I am and myself. And I just think it's wonderful that since I do this believe thing, that I was actually able to see it come to fruition in my life and in my family's life and just with my son just this week. So the message is always going to be the same. Believe in yourself, believe in your dreams. When you're down and out, don't quit, get back up. And if you know somebody, call them today, send them a text message and just say, you know what, I believe in you. And, and just let it go from there. You'd be surprised how people open up when you just tell them, you know what, I believe in you. So I hope everybody has a great, successful weekend, and I'll see you again soon.